The world's largest active volcano is the Yellowstone supervolcano, located in the northwest corner of Wyoming and extending into Montana and Idaho. It's one of the planet's restless giants, capable of producing some of the largest volcanic eruptions known to man. The volcano lies within the boundaries of Yellowstone National Park, a protected area that's home to an array of geological features and wildlife. Supervolcanoes are characterized by their large magma chambers, which can store a vast amount of energy and release it in a single, violent eruption. Such eruptions are often accompanied by devastating winds and ash fallout that can spread over hundreds of miles. The last known supervolcano eruption was at Lake Toba in Indonesia 74,000 years ago, and its effects were felt around the world. Despite their potential for destruction, supervolcanoes are often surrounded by myths and misconceptions, such as the idea that they are caused by nuclear explosions. In reality, supervolcano eruptions are caused by the sudden release of magma that has been stored in the volcano's magma chamber. Yellowstone National Park, one of the world's largest active volcanoes. Yellowstone National Park is one of the oldest national parks in the United States, with its formation in 1872. Yellowstone is home to an active supervolcano and is one of the world's largest active volcanoes, also known as the Yellowstone caldera. The park is known for its diverse and unique features, including the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, the Old Faithful Geyser, and a variety of different wildlife species. It's also home to the world's largest collection of geysers, with more than 500 geothermal features. Yellowstone also features many hot springs, mud spots, and fumaroles. The history of Yellowstone National Park is rooted in its volcanic origins and Native American presence. The park is believed to have been created by a volcanic eruption over 600,000 years ago, and Native American tribes have been living in the park for thousands of years. In 1872, President Ulysses S. Grant signed legislation to create Yellowstone National Park, making it the first national park in the United States. The park has had a long history of volcanic activity, and the supervolcano beneath it is still active. In the past, the park has experienced several major eruptions, including the Lava Creek eruption that occurred around 640,000 years ago. In recent years, there have been several smaller earthquakes and steam blast eruptions, though none have posed a serious threat to the park. Despite its history of volcanic activity, Yellowstone National Park remains one of the most beautiful and awe-inspiring places in the world. Characteristics of supervolcanoes. Supervolcanoes are some of the most powerful and destructive natural phenomenon in the world. They're characterized by an immense eruption, which is many times more powerful than those of regular volcanoes. Supervolcanoes are formed when large amounts of molten rock and ash accumulate beneath a volcano's crater until pressure builds up and it's eventually released in a violent explosion. This eruption can be so powerful that it's capable of altering the climate worldwide and causing mass extinctions. Supervolcanoes are much more powerful than regular volcanoes due to the sheer amount of magma and ash they can produce. While regular volcanoes usually produce a few hundred to a few thousand cubic kilometers of lava and ash, supervolcanoes can produce up to 10,000 cubic kilometers of material. This immense volume of material is enough to cause global destruction and cause significant changes in the climate. Supervolcanoes are also characterized by their large calderas, or crater-like depressions, which form after an eruption. These calderas are caused by the magma chamber emptying during an eruption, causing the land above to collapse. Calderas can vary in size, but some of the largest ones can measure up to 100 kilometers in diameter. The effects of a supervolcano eruption can be devastating, and the world has seen its power firsthand. The most famous of these eruptions is the one that occurred at Yellowstone National Park in the US, which caused changes in the climate and massive destruction. Supervolcanoes are powerful and dangerous phenomenon, and understanding them better can help us prepare for the next one. Potential for a massive eruption. A massive eruption can have devastating consequences, both immediate and long-term. Such an event would likely cause large-scale destruction, potentially resulting in the loss of lives and property, as well as long-term environmental damage. Volcanic ash and gases can cause respiratory illnesses and other health problems, while lahars, mud flows generated from melted ice and snow, can inundate areas near the volcano. A large eruption could also cause a decrease in global temperatures due to the release of sulfur dioxide and other gases, resulting in a phenomenon known as volcanic winter. In order to prepare for a potential massive eruption, it's important to familiarize yourself with the volcano in question and to be aware of any potential risks. Local authorities should be consulted for advice on how to prepare for the event, as well as any evacuation plans that may be in place. It's also important to keep track of any signs of increased activity or other changes in the volcano that could be indicators of an impending eruption. In the event of a large eruption, it's important to be prepared to evacuate if necessary. Emergency kits should be assembled, including items such as food, water, medical supplies, and other essentials to be prepared for this event. It's also important to have a plan of where to go and how to get there. It's imperative to follow the instructions of local authorities in the event of an evacuation. To mitigate the potential damage from a massive eruption, it's important to be aware of the risks and take steps to reduce them. Preparing for an eruption in advance, such as by developing evacuation plans and ensuring that emergency kits are up to date, can help to minimize the potential impact of such an event. It's also important to ensure that infrastructure, such as bridges and roads, are built and maintained in a way that are resilient to the potentially hazardous conditions that may arise from such a large eruption. Myths and misconceptions surrounding supervolcanoes. Supervolcanoes are massive geological structures that have the potential to cause catastrophic damage on a global scale. Despite their importance, there are many myths and misconceptions surrounding them, from their frequency and triggers to the extent of their destructive power. Understanding the truth about supervolcanoes is crucial for ensuring the safety and well-being of people and the environment. In recent years, our understanding of supervolcanoes has evolved significantly. We now understand that supervolcanoes are much larger than regular volcanoes, with a magma chamber that is roughly 40 to 50 times larger than that of a typical volcano. This means that the potential for destruction from a supervolcano is far greater than from a regular volcano. Supervolcanoes are also much more explosive than regular ones. The eruption of a supervolcano could release large amounts of ash and gas into the atmosphere, which could lead to a global cooling and have a major impact on the climate. Additionally, the lava flows from supervolcanoes can be much larger than regular ones, which can lead to large-scale destruction of the surrounding area. Supervolcanoes erupt less frequently than regular ones. While regular volcanoes may erupt every few years, supervolcanoes may take thousands of years to erupt. Therefore, we are much less likely to experience an eruption from a supervolcano than from a regular volcano. One of the most common misconceptions surrounding supervolcanoes is that they are capable of producing an eruption of apocalyptic proportions, which is not true. In reality, supervolcanoes are large volcanic centers that have had an eruption of magnitude 8 on the Volcano Explosivity Index, which is considered to be a very large eruption, but not enough to cause global destruction. Additionally, supervolcanoes are not always active, and in some cases can go dormant for centuries at a time. Another myth is that supervolcano eruptions are related and can cause one another, which is not the case. Supervolcano eruptions are isolated events and have no connection to each other. Finally, although supervolcano eruptions are powerful, they are not as destructive as many people think, and the area affected by an eruption tends to recover over time and become livable again. Monitoring supervolcanoes. Volcanoes are an important and potentially dangerous geological feature, and it is essential that we monitor them to minimize the risk of a catastrophic eruption. By using technology to track and monitor volcanic activity, we can get a better understanding of the behavior of these volcanoes and be better prepared for any potential eruption. Using advanced monitoring technologies such as satellite imagery, seismometers, and geochemical analysis, we can track and monitor the activity of volcanoes. By collecting data on seismic activity ash emissions, and other indicators of volcanic activity, we can get a better idea of the potential risks posed by a volcano. By using this data, we can make informed decisions about the safety of people and property near the volcano and plan for any potential eruptions. In addition, this data can be used to develop and improve early warning systems, which can alert people to any potential eruptions and give them time to evacuate. This data could also be used to develop and improve our understanding of how volcanoes work and how they might behave in the future. By studying these data, scientists are able to develop models of how volcanoes might behave and what kind of risks they might pose, which can ultimately help us to be better prepared for any potential eruptions. By understanding the behavior of volcanoes and being better prepared for potential eruptions, we can reduce the risk of any catastrophic eruptions occurring. This is why monitoring volcanoes is so important. By using technology to track and monitor their activity, we can have a better understanding and be prepared for any event. In conclusion, supervolcanoes are a powerful reminder of the immense geological forces that shape our planet. They have the potential to cause massive destruction and alter the course of human civilization. Understanding their behavior and potential risks they pose is crucial for ensuring the safety and survival of future generations. Further research into the triggers and warning signs of supervolcanic eruptions can help us prepare for and mitigate their impact, and ultimately ensure a better future for humanity. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video educational and informative. If you did, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that bell icon to stay connected. And until next time, stay curious.